Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our urban worm bag. Now this is the one that has the European night crawlers in it. We have been slowly adding more and more food, and we really have this bin now churning through food at a fairly decent rate. It's been a little bit less than a month since our last update, but I'm hoping that they've gone through all the food that we've added last time, which is one of these, large containers like this. This is a fairly large container of food. This is what we're going to add today, along with the corn cobs that you saw on top. So we're going to add a lot of food again, but we're trying to get this bin working at full speed, and eventually I should be able to add one of these about every other week, and it should be able to just churn through them. So with that, let's go take a look at the system and see how it's progressing with its current food. And even if it's not finished with it, we're still adding this bunch of food. So we're gonna add a lot of food this update, but we gotta get these worms going, and I think that they can take care of this food once they really get chewing through it. We might add some cardboard, we might add some moisture too. It's gonna depend on the bin, but let's go take a look. Alright, here we are with the urban worm bag here. Let's just take a look at this real quick. I have not opened it since my last update. So, with that we can see, the material looks fairly moist. Not too dry, and there's no moisture on the lid here, so it might be a little dry inside. We're just going to move that off to the side, and we'll take a look inside. We have our fruit fly trap in here, which I will continue to leave in here. But overall, I'm not seeing anything major on it, but we'll let that go for now. So let's start digging in here a little bit. I can't remember what side I fed on. I think it might have been this side over here. And you can see we got a mango seed here. It looks fairly fresh. Let's see if I can break this open here. Looks like it doesn't have any worms inside, but it has some of the little springtails in there maybe. So that looks pretty fresh though. So we're going to throw that off to the side. As you know, I do put a lot of different things in here, and we just see how it goes through it. So let's dig in on this side right here. And you can already see some worms here. I mean, look at that. We got our first worm here that's on a piece of paper right here, which is some coffee grounds. We've got an avocado shell that they're working at. And here's a big bag of coffee grounds right here. These take a while to break down, especially when they're not open. Another mango seed. Actually, these are mango seeds, not avocado seeds, I think I said. So we'll just break that one open as well. Let them get in there, start eating this stuff up. Let's just dig down in here and see how this looks. So I'm seeing coffee grounds, some worms in those coffee grounds obviously with our night crawlers in here, the Euros. And it looks like they're doing a pretty good job on this material. Most of the veggie matter is gone. We've got these coffee grounds in here, but that's not surprising. They do take a while to break down. You can see there's quite a few worms right here on that pile. So let's just dig down in this corner a little bit more. And you can see, look at all the worms here on this pile right here on the side. They're starting to work through this. They're starting to work through the paper as well. Everything is getting worked through. It's just this, these coffee grounds are the only thing that are left from over here. It looks like, really, other than the avocado and the mango. The avocado shells, I should say, and mango seeds. But other than that, everything else is gone. Oh, wait, hold on. Got something right here. Oh, no, this is avocado. It's an avocado shell with some avocado inside, it looks like. But you can see the worms are really working at that too. So they're doing a good job in here of going through this material. It has been a while, it's been close to a month or just shy of a month. Since today's the 12th, and I think my last update was on the 15th of November, and it's December 12th, so they're doing a really good job in here. They're really starting to move through this stuff. You can see they're all spread out through here, the worms as well. When you're looking around, they're not in one section really digging in and sort of hounding that section. Although, getting down to the bottom here, I'm noticing a lot of paper still down here, and a lot of worms in that paper as well, which is a good sign. So they're moving all through this system. They're really digging it up. We're going to just fold this in over here a little bit more. Now let's just dig around a little bit on the other side here. See how it looks over here. Oh, we've got our coconut shell right here. I bet that this is fully hollowed out now by now, and it's just a really hard shell, which is fine. We can leave that in here. But you can see there's still even a worm in there. So they're still trying to work at this, but it doesn't feel like it's getting any softer. And I still can't like squeeze or break it or anything like that, but that's okay. As I said, I'm just going to leave that in there for a while, see how they do with it, but I'm still seeing, this feels like nice. You can see the material over here. They've really broken down those, the paper and the food on this side, and this is actually starting to really look like castings instead of a mixture. Well, I got something else right here. Oh, this is an avocado. Here we go. This is an avocado seed. And it looks like we might have a baby nightcrawler right there, because it's not pink, but that is not a potworm. There's no way that's a potworm. It's way too big to be a potworm and too deep in the system. So we might have a little baby that was right there. Although I thought it would be a little bit more pink, but, you know, not sure. That's paper. All right. So you can see they're doing a good job of turning through this material. There's nothing really left on this side other than castings. A little bit of paper. Oh, just got stuff all over my arm here. We're just going to move this up out of the way. Dig down a little bit more. And every time I've been adding stuff, I've been trying to add a little bit of paper. This steel's really caught on the side here. I'm just going to dig this away here. See, this is really caught up on the side, but you can see as if I break it apart, there's worms in there, even though it's really compacted. Surprisingly, there's still worms in that compacted material. So, with that, we're really starting to get a lot of the paper is disappearing from here, which is fantastic. I'm really happy to see that. So we're going to add, again, as we've done in the past, more paper in the bottom here. Just sprinkle this in. And this is cardboard and office paper mixed up. I find that office paper works just fine in these systems. I think cardboard works maybe a little better, but works fine with the office paper. Now, this is is starting to dry up a little bit, but I'll add water after I get everything in here. So next thing I'm going to add is some of my crushed crab and eggshell. I add quite a bit of that in there. And I'm going to add some on top of the food as well. But I'm just trying to get more grit in this system. It looks like it's running a little bit low. There's not a lot of sprinkles. You can see a little bit of it sprinkled in on there, but not a whole lot. So, and now our big feeding here that we've got. And I showed you the container before. Whoops. Oh no. All right, that's bad. I just dumped a whole bunch of vinegar on here, but hopefully that'll dissipate in the system. So, hold on here just a second. So we've got our large feeding here. We've got our corn cobs. We've got more apple. We've got pumpkin, which they love pumpkin. Hopefully that vinegar that's in here won't be that big of a deal. I'll have to refresh that cup now too. I wasn't expecting to do that. We've got our apple, we've got banana, and of course, coffee grounds. So we're gonna just try to break this apart a little bit. I have had this sitting out for the past 20 minutes. I thought it'd be a little bit softer than it is now, but it is what it is. So there we go. It's broken apart a little bit. Make sure we get all these little crumbs in there. Now, with the vinegar, it wasn't a whole lot. I'm not too worried about that really causing many issues with the worms. It's not going to be concentrated. I'm going to water it down also just to make sure. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, well, first off, actually, let me add some more paper to the top of this before I change this up. And this shows why you should not put stuff right next to your bins while you're working on it. I've done this plenty of times, but I really should be moving it out of the way a little bit further instead of having it right next door. The cup that fell was right over here. So when I brought the container of food over, I knocked it in. So, all right, so there we go. There's quite a bit of paper on top here. I'm going to add a little bit more crushed eggshell to the top of this. And this is, I'll have a video linked up top. But, you know, just trying to get this, this going. And then we're going to go ahead and cover this up with all this nice material. Let's bury this down in there too. Kind of break all this up, cover this up nicely. There we go. And then we can leave these seeds on top. I've not found those to be that much of an issue. But there we go, they're nicely covered. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add some water to this. So I have my water that has the BTI mix over here. And we're just going to add a bunch of that right to the top here. I'm not too worried about it soaking through. If you do have this if you put in too much liquid, I will say that on these systems, it can leak through. So you do have to be a little bit careful, but I figure that this material is so dry at this point, that should not be an issue with it leaking through. So there we go, there's some water. Now, this doesn't really have much left in it, so I'm going to have to refresh this before I put it back in. I was not planning for that today, so I'm going to have to come back to that. I'll put it in there for now, and I'll come back a little bit later and do that and add that back in. Take that out right there. But so that's the update for this week, or this month I should say, because we'll probably get to it in maybe another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we'll see how they're doing. So I always add this, by the way, to the opposite side. So this, actually, if it was on this side, it would probably fit on this side last time as well, but they were working on this side as well, so we're just going to leave it in there on that side. We fed on this side, and we'll come back next week and hopefully add another massive feeding over here. I'm going to have to fill that up, and that's it. So I'm going to leave this open actually for now because I want to fill this up, but thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you're looking to purchase one of these, I do have links down below to purchase this along with some of the other things that you see, and worms as well. So look for those links down below in the comments and description. So thank you for watching.